Hello, everyone. Amanda,
Hello, everybody.
can you hear me okay?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yep, I sure can. So let's
Okay.
see if Punksy wants to come up. Hey, I'm working on StreamYard. Hey, Shay, how are you? I knew you would be here. Okay, I'm going to wait just a few minutes. So how was your day, Amanda?
Oh, I had a good day. I'm trying
Good.
to compare or complete. Oh my gosh, prepare for this live.
Yeah. I really wanted to be able to show the Netflix, the first, like the first or second episode of it, but I don't think I can on here. I asked a friend and she didn't think I could, which sucks. So have you guys watched the Jeffrey Dahmer Netflix documentary, or do you know, Shay, about the documentary itself, or about Jeffrey Dahmer, should I say? Does anybody want to let me know if you guys have watched it or know a lot about the old Jeffrey Dahmer?
Both for me.
Yeah, see, like I said the other night, I've only been into true crime like since the Chris Watts. Actually, bef- well, it was around the same time I found out about Harry Milligan. So, and then, Chris Watts and Shanann Watts was all over YouTube. So I got into that too. I've never really been one to watch scary movies or anything like that. So, but when I watched the documentary, it literally physically made me sick to my stomach. Okay. Are you wanting to come up, Punksy? I sent you the link in Messenger. So you're going to hit that link and then I'll see you in the back and you can have your camera off because I just got out of the shower a little while ago. My camera is not on. So also, I kind of wanted to let everybody know next Thursday, Mark and me are doing Harry again, and we're actually going to go over the file. So I'm hoping that there is a lot of people, you guys share that when I get it scheduled. I really want the people that were in there the last time with Harry, they seemed to really know what they were talking about. And I cannot remember the one's name. It was Truth and Crime or something like that. Do you remember him, Amanda?
No, that's the one when I was sick.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, so if you guys can share it, Punksy, you can share it and just tell everybody about it because we're going to start from the very beginning of his case. And I'm going to actually take pictures of each page and I'm going to bring it up so you guys can see the damn interviews and what we're talking about.
Allison, Punksy said I'm trying to figure it out. One sec.
Okay, that's
trying to
fine.
get on.
Nope, you're fine. Okay, so you're just going to hit that link that I sent you. And then you're going to, if you're on your phone, you're going to do it like you did at your house. Shay, I'll remind you. I'll remind everybody that I have on Messenger. I'll remind you guys. And I've got a bunch of locals that are wanting to see that too. So Shay, have you watched the Netflix documentary? I watched the whole thing and I don't know how, but I did. You watched it too. And didn't you rewatch like the first episode, Amanda?
Yeah. In the start of the second one, but yeah, I watched the whole thing. But I already knew about him and had watched documentaries and stuff. But that's a really good documentary to watch on Netflix. It just explains so much more than what any documentary does.
Yeah. Who was the one that was in here earlier? What's in a name?
I see that.
Yeah. Well, welcome if you're still here. What's in a name? She or he. Oh, Jenny. Yeah, Jenny couldn't be here, you guys. She's been suffering from migraines and she actually hasn't even been able to be home. They've been house sitting for friends and I don't even know if she's still home yet. Anyways, let's see. I want to see what's in a name. The Horror Apartment. I'm on episode 9. Got one more left on the Netflix series. I hope you come back to this video. Let's see. Thank you. Yep. Okay, good. Yeah, this it about made me sick. A rose by any other name would smell as sweet. Okay, well, we can get started. First of all, I'm going to put some trigger warning things up here because there is a lot of trigger warnings here. First, I'm going to post this up and I'm going to post my trigger warning and some images, but I'm going to let you guys decide if you want me to show images. I'm having, I don't know. I'm going to let you guys, my chat, if they want me to or not. Anyways, I'm going to have to stop it a little bit, but I want you guys to hear the interview of Tracy Edwards. And it's not really the interview. He's going to discuss what happened, and this is in court, but this is where it starts on the documentary. And he plays a very important, he is why Dahmer got caught. So hold on a minute here. I gotta share my screen. I don't like the present. That's got me all screwed up there. Okay. Okay, let me add it. Okay, here we go.
You sound as for the testimony you're about to give this matter. That Mr. Dahmer you're speaking about is the defendant in this case to my right, correct?
Yes.
And that I made a record. I showed the identification.
Sir, would you indicate where Mr. Dahmer is seated in the courtroom? It's over there.
He
right
couldn't
in the middle between my two. So that Mr. Dahmer.
You guys, you couldn't. I mean, you can see the fear, the disgust. He couldn't even look at him.
Yeah.
Through this a little bit.
Where was it that you saw him in the late afternoon, early morning hours of July the 22nd?
Grand Avenue Mall.
And that was in Milwaukee.
Correct.
Downtown on Wisconsin Avenue.
Wisconsin, correct.
Were you with somebody or were you alone?
A couple of our friends, yeah.
Okay, so the record is absolutely clear. You are not a homosexual, are you?
No, not at all.
Okay. So you were with a couple of your buddies, were you?
That's correct.
And what were you doing?
We was drinking beer, just talking, hanging out,
About 6 o'clock at night, was it?
Yeah, about 6:15, whatever.
Did you have occasion then to see Mr. Dahmer?
Yeah, he approached us eventually and started talking to us.
Can you guys see that okay?
Were you 3 black males?
Yeah, one white, 2 black male.
Let me
so
know.
You're friends.
Yeah, my best friend was white, yeah.
When he came up,
I don't want to have
3
to.
of you and your 2 friends and Mr. Dahmer walked down to a liquor store. And what happened when you got to the liquor store?
I saw my brother. We started talking. At this time, Jeff was talking to my other friends.
So you say you saw your brother. He wasn't one of the 3 that you were with.
No.
You saw him on the
Do I need to make it bigger, Shay?
street?
Yeah.
Okay, so you had conversation.
Right.
Okay, did anyone go into a liquor store and buy anything?
Mr. Dahmer brought liquor. Yeah.
So he went
and
into a
beer.
liquor store?
Right.
And when he came out, who was still there?
Okay. When he came out, we were all still there.
And then what happened? Tell us what happened then.
Okay. He was talking to them.
Okay,
then
let's
we-
get through this part.
Wasn't correct.
You
Yeah.
later found that out?
Right, from my friends. Yeah.
What happened then? Who else remained there when this was all towards his apartment? What was your plans on doing when you got to the apartment?
I want to get to where,
Tell us what happens when you get up to the apartment. Tell us what you observed, what your senses told you.
can you see it better, Shay?
Okay. First of all, it seemed like a normal apartment. When we got inside, he turned out burglar alarms. I asked him why. First, it was a foul odor. Okay.
Tell us about that. What kind of an
It
odor?
was just like an odor. I didn't quite know what it was. You know, he told me a sewer pipe had broken and management would take care of it. Yeah.
And did you accept that?
Yes, because I worked around at construction companies before, and when pipes bust, sewer pipes bust, they smell. Yeah. So I
Okay.
brought that.
So you say your first thing you did was notice the odor. He opened the door to the apartment
Yes.
and you walked in.
Yes.
He turned off something. What did he turn off?
Alarms.
Did you ask him about that?
Yeah. And he said the part of the neighborhood he was in, he was protecting his property, things like that, cameras, VCRs, TVs, things of that nature.
Did you accept that?
Yes, it did.
After getting in the apartment, can you generally describe the apartment, both the apartment that you saw then and the apartment that the other parts of the apartment you saw? Tell the jury what the apartment was like.
It was like normal, pretty decent apartment, had nice things in it. You know, it had certain boxes sitting on the front Murata.
Let me go through this part.
We stayed in that room for a while.
And where did you sit, if you did?
Okay, at the end of the sofa, like I am now, this is a sofa. I was at this end, and he was at this side.
Referring to the jury, I mean, a witness box, if that were a sofa, he would be at that end. That is the end where he's seated on the witness stand, which would be the part closest to the judge. Is that right?
That's correct.
And where did Mr. Dahmer, what did he do?
He sat like here, maybe a couple feet from me. on
Not
my
close
left.
to you.
Maybe 2 feet.
You in fear of anything at that time?
Not at all.
Okay, and what did the two of you do?
Okay, he said we were still talking, chatting. You know, he asked me, was I interested in doing the photography? You know, I told him I was still contemplating, so therefore he offered me a beer and a rum and coke mixture at that point.
Now, you're fully clothed,
Yes,
okay, and you're sitting on a couch,
right.
and he talks to you about this posing, and you weren't sure you're going to do it.
Right.
How much had you been offered to do the posing?
$100.
Okay, and when he brings you the beer, he brings you rum and coke?
Yeah, he brings the beer first, and then he brings the rum and coke.
How big of a glass?
Maybe that big.
Let me go through this a little bit.
Agitated, maybe, you know, because of the smell and things. And then he threw my conversation off talking about the fish in the fish tank, you know.
Okay, when you start talking about the fish in the fish tank, do you bring that up or does he?
He does.
And what do you do when he does that?
I turn to the right, like the fish tank is here. I'm turning all the way over here
You turn to your right to look at it,
to look at the fish tank, right?
and when that happens, what happens to you?
All of a sudden, a handcuff and a knife is pulled on me. Yeah.
Handcuff is placed on
Could you guys imagine? I mean, I could not imagine. This guy was smart though.
your body. Where?
On my left wrist.
And you see a knife.
Yeah, the knife, yeah.
Now, at that moment, what do you do?
First, I feel fear. Then I ask him, what's going on? You know, this is not necessary, you know, to pull a knife on me.
Are you afraid?
Yes,
Do you have any reason to know why he did that?
none whatsoever.
Did you have any idea at that time it was going to happen?
No.
Tell me about his demeanor at that time when you looked and realized he had a knife and you in a cuff. What was you were only cuffed on one wrist?
One wrist, yeah.
What was happening to the other part of the handcuff?
Okay, he had it in his hand,
He was holding it.
holding that in the wrist, yeah.
Where was the knife? In the other hand?
The knife was like he had here. The knife was in his hand. He had it on me like this.
Let the record reflect he was holding the knife in his right hand as he showed it, holding the cuff in his left hand. Is that right?
Right.
And your left hand is cuffed.
Yeah, right.
Where do you have the knife? What kind of a knife was it?
It was like a military knife, a machete of some type. He had it lowered right up under my rib cage, Like
So he had
back, somewhere in the back here.
He had it pointed at your ribcage.
Yeah.
Did you feel it? Touch
Yeah,
it?
he had it on me. He had it against my body.
What happened? What was going through your mind the moment that happened when you realized you had a knife at your side and a handcuff on your hand? What did you think?
I think like, what's going on, This guy is so nice and all of a sudden, it's like he was pulling knives and handcuffs and all on me,
What'd you do? What'd you say to him?
I asked him what the problem was, that it's not necessary to do this.
Okay, hold on. We're going to stop it for a second. Punksy is backstage. We will welcome her. Can you hear us, Punksy?
Yeah, can you guys hear me okay?
Yep. All righty. Okay.
Hi.
Let's go back to the video and then we're going to do some talking about this.
Thank you so much, you guys.
Thank you for being here.
What did he say?
He told me at that point if I wouldn't do what he said, he would kill me. Yeah.
Now, tell us about his demeanor at the time that you look at him and you say, what's going on? You don't have to do this. What happens to Mr. Dahmer? What's he like?
It's like not the same person that we met at Grand Avenue Mall.
How is he different?
His face structure seemed different. His body structure is like it wasn't him anymore. It's like it was a totally different guy here.
So he told you if you didn't do what he told you to do, he'd hurt you.
He hurt me.
What'd you do? What happened? Tell us what happened step by step as best you can
And
remember.
then all of a sudden he kind of calms down, and then he said he has the key in the bedroom. So we proceed to the bedroom.
The key to the handcuffs.
Right.
You believed he was going to take him off?
Yeah. At that point, I had to go along with this guy, and then if I had to find out, so I walked back there with him. He kind of guides me back there.
Guys you back with the cuff and the knife?
Yeah. Right.
And you go into the bedroom.
Right.
What do you see in the bedroom?
A big, about 50, 60 gallon drum barrel, whatever.
Did you ever see a 50, 60 drum barrel in anybody's bedroom
No.
before?
Not at all.
Do you have any idea? Did you ask him what it was?
Shay, I agree. I agree with you on that comment. He says that he appeared to change, and I don't know any of you that believe in the shape shifting and different things like that, but you should research it because it's real.
No, at that point, I asked no questions at that time.
Was there a bed in that room?
Yes.
How was the bed? Was it made, unmade? What did
It was unmade.
what did you see on the bed, if anything?
Something like a stain or whatever on the bed.
What did you think it was?
At that point in time, I wasn't sure.
What did you do when you got in the bedroom as he's holding on to the cuff and the knife? What did you do?
Study this talking, trying to be friends with him.
Did you remain standing? Did you sit
He
down?
was smart
He made
for
me sit
doing
down
that.
At that point, we both sit on the bed.
Was it at the foot of the bed, the side of the bed, head of the bed?
Maybe halfway between.
Did that room have a TV set in it?
Yes.
Was there anything going on the TV?
Yeah, the Exorcist movies was playing at the
The Exorcist movie. And then I want you to hear what he says Dahmer does.
time.
There was an Exorcist movie on.
Yeah.
You know which one of them?
The name, I'm not sure. I think it's 3. I'm not sure which one.
So there was a movie. Did you know it to be part of television or VCR?
VCR, normally that's not on regular television, so I thought it was VCR.
You knew there was a movie showing.
Right.
Did you see him put it on, or was it on?
No, when we first got into the apartment, he went through the back, into the back bedroom. Maybe he put it on then, I'm not sure.
Okay. And then what happened? You're both sitting on the bed?
Yes,
Are you still in handcuffs?
yes,
Is he holding the handcuff?
right,
Do you still have the knife?
right,
Is it pointed at your side as you've told us before?
right.
You trying to be cool?
Very much so.
You're not fighting with him?
No.
What's your intention? What are you planning on doing?
Getting away, I was contemplating on at the point jumping out the window. Yep. I was basically talking with this person, trying to let him know I was his friend. Yeah.
As you were sitting there on the bed, when he had you by the handcuff and a knife at your side, at that time, which would have been maybe 7 o'clock,
something like that.
What impression was made upon your mind by the conduct, action, manner, expression, and conversation that you observed of Mr. Dahmer?
His frame of mind is what you want to know, right? Okay, he acted. At times, he would go through like different changes with me. You know.
Tell us about that.
1 minute he's like nice, then he was telling he didn't want people to leave him or abandon him, things of this nature. You know. Yeah.
Well, what did you think about him as a person? What impression was made on your mind of this fellow that you're dealing with here?
Yeah. That at times he wasn't himself, and then at times he was like a nice guy. You know. He would come and go different times, you know, throughout the whole time. Then he would like sit, being quiet at times, watching the movie, wanting me to watch the movie, you know, and just doing little chanting sounds, you know.
Chanting sounds. Just remember that, because I'm going to go further into that too.
Did you observe him watching the movie and how he would react to the movie?
Right. He would like just start rocking back and forth when he, you know, certain parts of the movie or whatever.
You have to say, what did he say, madam?
It was like chanting in certain times and rocking back and forth, right?
Tell us about his chanting. What was that all about?
I'm not even sure, sir, but it was just like, I can't tell you the words. I couldn't understand what he was saying at that time.
Can you mimic him? How it sounded?
It was like a slow slur, like some of that nature, some close like that, I'm not sure.
Did it keep on for a period of time?
Off and on throughout the ordeal.
And how about the movement back and forth? How was that being effectuated?
Just like back and forth, he would do it every now and then. You know?
Just as you are rocking in your chair.
Like this.
And chanting.
And chanting.
Was there any parts of the movie that was going on that you saw that he said anything about?
It was like the part about the preacher that used to be a preacher that had got possessed, and that it would seem like he was like interested in that part. That part had his attention more than anything. You know?
Tell us about what you mean by that. What impressions were made upon?
I'm sorry, but this poor guy has got to be going through hell right now. That he was living in hell and still is right here. Ugh.
In your mind when this was going on as to had his attention? How did he appear to you?
It appeared like it was like he wanted to mimic it or be like that part, you know, being demonized or whatever in that nature.
I'm sorry, I missed.
Yeah, like he wanted that type of movie. That part, certain parts of that part interested him. You know, it was like he changed with it at times. Then he would get more aggressive, try to get me to handcuff myself, both hands. And he's told me it made him feel more dominant.
Okay, did you and he move off of the bed at any time?
Yes, he wanted me to lay flat down, stomach down on the floor at that time.
Did you at any time go to the bathroom, use the washroom prior to the time that he asked you to lay down on the floor?
No.
All right, tell us what happened how did that happen that he told you to lay down on the floor?
No, he told me to lay down face down, put both of my hands behind my back because he changed again at that point, like he got more aggressive at that time.
Okay, now, but tell us, did he still have the knife out?
Yes, he still had the knife.
And what did you do?
Okay, I kind of like laid on my sides for some reason. I guess God told me not to lay flat down or let this person handcuff me, so I didn't.
So you were trying to stop that from happening, but you got down on the floor.
Right.
I got to stop it again for a second. Does anybody have any questions yet? E. Caroline, hello from Mid-Coast, Maine, arriving late, referred here by CDT. Will you tell CDT, tell her thank you very, very much. I appreciate you being here. Do you have any questions before I finish this? I think we've got maybe 9 more minutes left. Thank you.
What did he do?
He kind of laid across me, put his head across my chest at that point.
What was he doing with his head?
Pardon me?
What did it appear to you he was doing with his head? What was he trying to do?
Like he was listening to my heart, because at a point he told me he was going to eat my heart at that point.
Said he was going to eat your heart?
Yes, that's correct.
Said he was going to eat his heart. What the hell? What's in a name? No question, but I will never watch The Exorcist Part 3 now. Too creepy knowing Dahmer liked it. Yeah, I've never really liked scary movies. I think I'm a chicken shit. I know I'm a chicken shit because I couldn't watch them by myself for anything. I think my sister, when I was in high school, had me watch, was it Pet Cemetery? Maybe, I think. And I had nightmares for like weeks. Okay.
Still have the knife?
Yeah.
Where was the knife pointed?
When I was on the floor, he had it pointed at my groin area at that time.
One knife?
He had several, and then he slid one. I managed to slide one underneath the bed. And I guess during a point of time through an ordeal, he didn't know where the knife was, so I didn't know if he felt that was a threat or not.
So he still had a knife, you're on the floor. How long does he lay on top of you trying to hear your heart as you've described it?
Maybe a minute and a half.
And then what did you do then?
I knew something was about to happen, so I suggested that I go to the bathroom. I had to use the bathroom at that
And
time.
what did he do?
He kind of guided me to the bathroom.
So when you say he guided you, still had hold of your handcuff?
Yes,
And you went to the bathroom.
right.
Did you urinate?
Yeah.
Were you able to utilize your own zipper, or did he touch you at all?
Touched me in no way. Didn't attempt to look. He just held me in back. You know,
So in other words, he didn't try to look at what your penis looked like or
not
anything?
at all.
Okay, hold on a second. We have an echo, so I'm going to mute us.
So after urinating, did you think that you were going to be the victim of, did he ask to engage in any homosexual acts with you?
None whatsoever.
Okay, so now you leave the bathroom and what happens?
Okay, then we go back into the bedroom. You know. It was like different time spans. We were talking about him losing his job. Then he would come to the person that I was first with, you know, and then at certain points he would change. You know, at first he was telling me about how people didn't care for him and things of this nature. And I was trying to comfort him, letting him know that I was a friend, you know, that I wasn't going to try to run away from him or nothing like that.
You were being cool.
I guess God, you can say that because I had no control. I don't know.
Did this continue on for a long period of time during the night?
Yes, apparently so. Time seemed to, I don't know. But I stayed in there that long, so it had to be going on throughout the whole ordeal, which it was. So it happened like that.
And all this time you're trying to hold him down.
Yeah, certain points, right.
How often would he go in and out of these moods?
Sorry, at the time spans, I couldn't really tell you, but like he would I guess if you want to put it together in time, every 30 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that, you know, and then he would have moods of being just silent, you know, and I wouldn't say anything, try to provoke him or say the wrong thing. I would be silent with him.
So you just let him be alone. Was that movie on the whole time, a long time?
It was on a pretty good period of time, you know, and when it went off, I couldn't tell you.
Did he continue to chant from time to time?
Yes, it happened several times throughout the ordeal.
Now, when he would watch the movie, did you notice when he would go into this thing that you told us where he would really become fixed on the movie screen? What was happening? How often would that happen?
Throughout the movie, maybe every 15 or 20 minutes, and then he would turn around and try to ask me to put both of my hands behind my back, and I wouldn't, you know, do it. I would talk to him. I tell him, you can trust me, you know, you don't have to do this, and that would calm him down a little bit.
He had the knife the whole time.
Right,
He's watching the movie and he becomes very interested in the movie.
right.
You don't do anything, just sit there.
Just sit there and be quiet.
And then he would start conversation with you again.
Yeah, he was like you're gonna have to do this and that, you know. Then he told me at a point I was gonna have to kill him, or he was gonna have to kill me at one point.
Were you and he drinking during this time?
No,
So he wasn't running out, bringing you out and getting beers and coming
no,
back?
no, I would have been out the window at that point.
Sure.
If he would have.
Did he, when he was fixed, I'm trying to get some words to understand, was he intoxicated?
He had been drinking, but far as being intoxicated, he was not staggering or anything of that nature.
But
It
you
wasn't
know that
fun to me.
some people, when they have too much to drink, change their moods. Was that the kind of mood changes he was having, or a different kind of mood
I
change?
think this was like more of an inner mood change than an alcoholic mood change.
What kind of mood?
It's like,
Inner mood?
yeah, a person change, not alcohol change.
What did you think about this guy? What was going through your mind as to who you were sitting next to, who was doing all these things?
A bizarre individual, someone that was very confused at this time.
Now, there came a time when you went to the washroom again.
Right, I suggested, yeah, because he had started getting aggressive a little bit again. I suggested to go to the bathroom. He let me stay in there by myself while he stayed outside the door at that time.
And what happened then?
And then I told him, well, I was contemplating, I was asking God, shall I make my move now? And I was going to just jump out the window. But when I got out, for some reason, I asked, could I have another beer? Yeah.
And what did he do?
And he reaches over, he guides me over and reaches in and get a beer.
He still got you on the cuff.
Yeah. And then he tells me, I told him I want to sit in the front because it's an air conditioner. And I was just going to try to jump out the window or go for the door or whatever. And because the back bedroom didn't have an air conditioner, only in the front. So I suggested we sit on the couch. I had unbuttoned my shirt to try to make him feel more at ease. And then I just sat on the couch and he just started going out of himself again. Yeah.
Going out of himself?
Yeah, he was like paying me no attention at that time.
Like he wasn't there?
Yeah, he started the chanting again and it's like just sitting there, And then I just, for some reason, I said, well, I need to go to the bathroom again. And he didn't follow me at that point. So I reached up, I got up, and then I hit him and I ran out.
So you hit him.
Right.
Did you have any other belongings
I
there?
have my bag right there at the end of the couch. I sit in exactly the same place I sit when I went in there.
So when you got up, he let go of your cuff to let you go to the bathroom again?
He just let me stay there. I was going to go for the window. At that point, he didn't even have the cuff. It's like I wasn't even there anymore.
And when you saw that, what'd you do?
I just seized the opportunity. I said, well, at least I'm going to die trying. I'm not just going to sit here,
What'd you do, son?
I hit him and I ran towards the door and he was right there, tried to grab me, get me back in there.
And what happened?
Then I made it outside.
So he wasn't able to bring you back
Bring
in?
me back in there. No.
He tried.
He tried.
And as you left that apartment, as you got away from him, I'm going to ask you again, what impressions were made on your mind by the conduct of Jeffrey Dahmer, by the actions of Jeffrey Dahmer, by the manner, expressions, and conversations of Jeffrey Dahmer that you observed? Can you give us some words?
It's like I told the policeman that this freak, this crazy guy, was trying to hurt me. Yeah.
Did you run out of the building?
Yes, I did.
Did you summon help?
Yes,
Milwaukee Police Department?
that's correct.
Did they come back there with you to the apartment?
Right.
Did you eventually go back into the apartment with the Milwaukee police officers?
Yes.
And then he was arrested.
Right.
You gave a statement to the Milwaukee police a few hours later?
Yeah. Guess you could say a few hours. Yeah.
Let's get unmuted here. Well, I think Punksy's got hers muted. I'll let her know she can unmute. That there, it just about makes me sick. But okay. I don't know. Okay, she just needs a second. Okay, first of all, let me go through this. I'm sure you guys already know all this, but for the people that watch the replay may not know. Jeffrey Dahmer, he was from Milwaukee. His name was actually Jeffrey Lionel Dahmer. He was born May 21st, 1960. He was born to parents Lionel and Joyce Dahmer, Joyce Flint. He raped and murdered at least 17 young men and boys. That's what he admitted to. there was a 10-year or 9-year where he says he didn't do anything, but he was addicted to this. So I bet he did. And I don't know. I could be wrong. He was actually diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, schizophrenia disorder, and psychotic disorder. I think there was a lot more mental issues going on than what they diagnosed him with. And I'm going to go further into that too. The ones that watched the documentary, in the documentary, they talked about the neighbor, Glenda Cleveland. That was not actually his neighbor. They were Basses. Vernell Bass, I believe is what the names were. They're the ones that was actually his neighbor, and talked about the smell going through the vents. Could you imagine? And he first, he would say that meat went bad and his fish got a disease and rotted away. Okay, I think Dahmer is not unique. Details may differ, but my guess is that one person is a certain way. There all are probably others too, or it seems to me. You're exactly right. And when you talk about others this way, I go back to all these other killers. You've got Ted Bundy, you've got John Gacy, you've got Jeffrey Dahmer, you've got Chris Watts, you've got that Austin Harif, you've got and every one of them say that something dark took over them, like they were possessed. It makes you wonder. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I don't know if any of you guys know what like MK Ultra is. And even if you believe in it, even if you don't believe in it a little bit, at least, because the CIA back in the day, they actually used drugs, chemicals to change people. And I mean, if you can just research it, but it happened. So yeah, it's.
But didn't they actually eventually release the existence of the program?
Oh, yeah, but I believe it's still going on. I really
Oh,
do.
okay.
I believe it's still going on. In my opinion. Go ahead, Punksy.
I'm sorry, you guys. Do you think when they do this program, which I really do think that they do, are they going for, I don't want to say this person.
You're cutting out. Let me mute while you talk.
Okay. When they're doing this program, the type, I was trying to charge my phone. That could have been it. I'm sorry, you guys. When they choose the people that they program, which I honestly do think that they do that, what do you think they specifically look for in that individual?
In my opinion, somebody that has had a childhood that something happened and they had to seek counseling, a traumatic experience. I mean, you think about it. Look how many people in this world that are on antidepressants right now. I mean, back in the day, they didn't have that kind of stuff. But I believe, and I could be wrong, but I think that they go back to, I mean, it doesn't even have to be a child. It could be somebody in the military, which I don't believe. I think it happened way before Dahmer was in the military, because he actually committed his first murder 3 weeks after his high school graduation. And that was that Mark Hicks kid, the hitchhiker. And, and then 6 weeks later, he enlisted in the Army, and he got an honorable discharge because he was an alcoholic. It just makes you wonder, I don't know. And somebody that knows more about the MK Ultra stuff. Maybe talk about that more. Chet, the Chiefs fan. I love the Chiefs fan. My daughter, she is a huge Chiefs fan. I'm going to get into that too, because you look at our society now, you've got the Hollywood, the government, and people can say that they're conspiracies. They are not. Actually, I brought up, look at this. They're pushing cannibalism so much right now. I mean, why bring Jeffrey Dahmer's thing back to life again? This happened, all these years ago. You've got the sacrifices that are happening, the Hollywood, the videos, they're literally doing bloodbaths. They're doing these right in front of our eyes, and nobody knows it because they're paying attention to the music. I mean, a lot of them happen like on the awards shows and stuff like that. But look at, okay, now I got to share my screen again so you guys can see this, but I'm going to show you this. They're pushing this, and I don't know why, but it's gross. Okay, hold on here. Look what this came up right here. What's wrong with eating people? You could soon be dining on lab-grown celebrity knops and lightly seasoned chunks of your loved ones. But is the world ready for synthesized cannibalism? They are pushing it, guys. I'm telling you.
Wow.
It's gross. I have watched a lot. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the name A Call for an Uprising, but he tells, I mean, I learn a lot from him. I learn a lot from Megan, her Think for Yourself. I'm going to drop her channel. She is amazing. And she's the one that actually had me seeing what was happening, what's really going on. Now there's a lot of different scenarios. She was thinking, a lot of them may be government psyops or whatever. I'm thinking more of MK Ultra, at least on the Dahmer case. And I'm going to tell you why, because let me get off of here. Well, first of all, have you guys ever heard of the Smith-Mundt Act? It's it's actually the Smith-Mundt Modernization Act. Anyways, I'm going to get off of this one. It's pretty much allows the media to put falsehood out there, and them not breaking the law, which we all know that the mainstream media has always put false information out there. But back in 2012, they actually passed that to where the mainstream media can lie to us. Look it up. It's called the Smith-Mundt Modernization Act of 2012. Hey, Pink Dahlia.
Hey, hey.
And Carolyn said something about her name. It's just Caroline, I think she said. Oh, sugar. I want to make sure I get it right here. Yeah, Caroline. The E's are to make it unique. Well, you are unique. I love the name. Some call me EE Caroline, which works too. Well, I'm glad you're here. And where's my other new one? What's in a name? Thank you again. Anyways, Pink Dahlia, if she was feeling better, she could help me with this, but there's just so much to it. But the reason why I think MK Ultra is, I wonder if I can, let me bring up this picture up here, you guys. You're going to shit, because I about did, because I have literally watched so many of the interviews, the pictures, everything. Okay. I want to make sure I get the right picture. I don't want to put, okay, this is Dahmer's apartment. Can you guys see this okay?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
Okay. Look up in the corner right here. That is a freaking video camera. Back in the
Mm-hmm.
1970s and 80s, and I didn't know they had these kind of cameras, but that's not it. That's not all of it. I'm going to show you a picture if I can find it here. Dang it, where is it?
There's that yellow lava lamp they talk about.
Yeah. Hold on here. I'll bring it up. I got to go to keep talking. You're fine. I want to show you guys Lionel Dahmer's when Jeffrey was growing up, his house, on the inside of his house, and all these cameras going and stuff. Where were they streaming to? Why? Nobody ever talked about cameras. I mean, yeah, he had his Polaroid and stuff, but he didn't have
The high tech.
that. Yeah.
Well, there must be
Okay.
some video somewhere.
Where, yeah, that's just it. And it makes you wonder if, MK Ultra, was the government watching everything? I mean, I don't know.
And you know, I don't know if you guys can hear me. Okay, I hope so. Well, they're watching every move now. I mean, I think they said, I don't know how many times a day we're all like on camera.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I was like thinking, but it's like when you stop, you know, a light, when you go through it, I sat there and I thought to myself, oh my goodness, like I never really thought of that.
Well, anybody that has a smart TV, an
That's what I was
Alexa,
gonna say.
our phones,
Phones, yep.
the other day I was watching, actually I was watching a call for an uprising, and I had 3 little dots come across my screen, like the screen on my phone, and they would just blink off and on the whole video. I'm like, yep, they're watching me. And people can call me conspiracy theorist, but let me tell you, how much can you be a conspiracy theorist when the stuff that we've said for the past how many years is now there, it's coming true. But this is Lionel Dahmer's house, his kitchen. Look up here. There's one.
No way.
Yes, don't you see it?
I do.
Where?
And
Beside the shelf?
It's up on the wall. Do you guys see it in the chat?
I do. Well, I don't know if they do.
Can you guys see that? I wonder if hold on, if I can make this
See
bigger.
something.
You guys see it now? See that? There's another one.
Is it on the shelf or beside of it?
I'm sorry, man.
That's the lamp. You see the lamp right here? It's right here on
Yeah.
the wall.
Okay.
The black thing.
Mm-hmm.
You guys can go look at it yourself. Just go to Lionel Dahmer's inside of his house pictures, and you'll be able to see it. Ugh.
Does it say anything about it?
No, I've never heard anybody say that there's video cameras. But see, that's just it. A lot of people won't look at that kind of stuff. They look at the other stuff, the stuff that's, there. But if you really go in, just like his apartment number, that was in my title.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Apartment 213.
Yes. Okay. I'm not, okay. If anybody's ever heard of, I'm sure you guys have heard of the Freemasons. There's different ranks to the Freemasons. The lower ranks, they're good people. You know what I mean? But I'm talking your higher ranked Freemasons. Just if you guys don't know a lot about them, you probably need to dig into them, because that is who is running our country. right now. All of them, they're all Freemasons. They're all running our country. And anyways, if you go through and you look at symbols, 33 is one of the numbers that they use. And when you got 2, 1, 3, 2 plus 1 is 3, and then the 3 is 33. And it's so hard. If you guys want to, you can go back and look at, just go to Freemasons and the symbols. But it's, if you guys have heard of the all-seeing eye on your dollar bill, it's all there, and they can't deny it. I mean, serious. They just can't. I was watching the first episode of the documentary, and the first thing that came up, you know, as far as numbers, it had the, what do you call it? The
missing poster sign.
Yeah, the missing poster sign. And I was telling Amanda, I said, my gosh, I go, the number on it, I didn't even write the number down. Anyways, it was, I thought I wrote the number down, but it said, if you see, you know, it was the first kid that went missing. But hold on, I'm going to go get the number because I wrote it on my paper here. Hold on.
And then there was,
Okay, I'm back. The last 4 numbers was 2498. So you've got your 2 and your 4 equals 6. 9 plus 7 is 16. Well, your 666 and 616, if you look at the Freemasons, those are the number of the beast, the 616 and 666.
Yeah, I'd never heard the
that's what they do.
616 before.
Huh?
I'd never heard the 616 until you
Yep.
told me.
Yep. If you go to your Freemasons and the symbolism and numerology, it'll tell you it's, and then also, did you guys listen to the whale sounds that they played out throughout the documentary?
yes.
Did you, Punksy?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I didn't notice it until you told me.
Yeah. If you like look up whale, and well, there's different things, but if you go to like push Freemason or Masonic symbolism and whale, let me see, I'm going to pull it up. And it's something like evil, demonic. Yeah.
A whale sound?
Whales,
Yeah.
not just the sounds, it's just the whales.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyways, they played that throughout the whole documentary. And it's like, whoa. So when I started, I'm going to show you guys. He used to play this in prison too. I got to share my screen again. And he would, and it's almost like people screaming when you listen to it. It's spooky.
Oh, that's what they made him quit listening to, right? Took his radio out.
Yeah, but
Okay.
this is exactly what this is. This is the same thing that they used in the documentary.
Ugh.
Yeah. it's freaky, isn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely.
It really is. It's like, whoo. And then I'm going to bring this up so you guys, if I can here, go ahead and talk.
I was gonna say, and then they also played my friend's song in the one bar that they were in. I sat there and I was laughing. Not I don't want to say laughing, but I was like, this is so ironic.
Which song was that?
Silent Morning by Noel.
Mm.
You
Was
know,
it in the bar scene where he meets Tracy or a different one?
what's that?
Was it in the first episode or when he meets Tracy or a different bar scene?
I think it was 4. I think it was the third or the fourth because I watched it today, and I actually,
Okay.
yeah, I sent a message to his because I met him through one of my friends, and they were together, for a little while. So I met
Mm-hmm.
today, and I was like, yeah, I heard Noelle, and she just started laughing. I was like, what a small world.
I'm gonna have to go back and listen for that because I'm rewatching it anyway.
It's good. It's a good song. And the funny thing is, though, Amanda, it's like back then, the songs that they were playing, I knew
Mm-hmm.
because, like, go out to some of the clubs too. So when they started, playing some of the songs, I was like, oh my gosh, this is just really ironic. And thankfully, he wasn't in
Mm-hmm.
the bars that I was in.
Yeah.
I don't know why this won't pull up, but it says on here when you push Freemasons and whales, it literally says satanic, Luciferian, Sodomic, and Pharaonic, as you can see with the symbols with lodges. And then it says evil will very rarely expose itself to public light. It must hide. And see, that's whales. They like to be in the dark a lot. It's ugh. Anyways, I just wanted to bring that part up too, because yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
freaky sounds, all right.
yeah. Hopefully, they leave Flipper out of it, though.
Now we can go through the victims if you guys want. Because I think that we need to, not put him, meaning Dahmer, give him, I think the victims do need to be talked about more.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, we've got Stephen. Now I may not be pronouncing these right. Tuomi, Jamie Doxtator, Richard Guerrero, Anthony Lee Sears. The first one was 24, and then the 14-year-old, 25-year-old, 26. Raymond Lamont Smith was 33. Edward Smith, 27. Ernest Miller, 22. David Thomas, 23. Curtis Strotter, 19. Errol Lindsay, 19. Anthony Hughes, 31. And this is the other 14 that the cops literally just gave him back to him.
Gave him back.
Counteracts and
Yeah.
send the massphone. And then Matt Turner, 20. Jeremiah Weinberger, 23. Oliver Lacey, 23. And Joseph Bradhoff, 25. And I know there's probably more. I mean, this was the hitchhiker hit. I mean, it's just, there's the young kid. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. And then for that, it's almost like the cops were there. They gave him back. I mean, huh? It doesn't.
That part is just makes me so mad.
He was bleeding from his rectum.
Wasn't he naked?
Yeah, I guess I don't know. There was blood. Yeah, it says in there that he was bleeding from his rectum.
Oh yeah, but I think he was naked. But
yeah,
they gave him a blanket or something.
Yeah, and then he had already been injected with the what was that stuff that
Acid.
at the acid? I mean, I don't, it doesn't make sense to me why and then they didn't even lose their job. They got paid time, until the investigation, but literally they got their jobs back, and one ended up getting like a big award.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What for?
What for?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I could not tell you. It was something for being like a police officer of the year or whatever. And I don't know if you
Oh,
guys
good
know
Lord.
this also. I wanted to talk about, I'm sure you guys have heard of the 1980s American Horror Story, right?
The 1980s version?
Yeah, like American Horror Story. But the
Yeah.
1980s, if you guys go to Think for Yourself, and I am going to put her link in here, go look at her and how the Watts case actually coincides with the American Horror Story. It's eerie. It's very, very similar. The things that they said, and Pink Dahlia can probably tell you some about it too if she ever gets to feeling better. Anyways, the producer of American Horror Story is the same producer as this Netflix documentary, Ryan Murphy. And the gentleman that played Dahmer in the Netflix documentary, I don't know if you guys watched his interview, but he said when he put the contacts in, he could almost feel the evil going through him. Like it was easy to play the part. Oh my God.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. Evan Peters said that? The guy
Yes.
that played Dahmer?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I
Yep.
think
This is off on a side note, but in one of the American Horror Stories, the one about the hotel, they don't use the name, but he plays the part of H.H. Holmes too.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
He's out all throughout. I think he's one of the ones that have been in every season.
Yeah. But anyway, so I was going to go back to, given a little history of him. He committed his first murder 3 weeks after his graduation. It was in 1978. He hit that Mark Hicks with a 10-pound dumbbell. And then he went into the Army 6 weeks later. And in 1981, he was honorably discharged due to alcohol. And then they gave him, a free pass to go anywhere he wanted, anywhere. And he wanted to go to South Carolina because he didn't want to go home and let his dad know that this happened. So, which is crazy. So he didn't want to go home. He went to South Carolina, and then he flew to Florida, and he made exotic sandwiches. Could you imagine the people that ate the sandwiches? That was what he did there. And then he ended up, coming home, and he worked as a phlebotomist for 10 months. He was unemployed for like 2 years after that. And then he started working at the chocolate factory, I believe, in 1985. And he actually claimed he carried a head around in his backpack.
Yeah, in his locker. Left it in his locker.
Yeah. Yep.
Ugh.
Yeah. That's, can you imagine the people that worked with him?
I think your locker had been next to his and you didn't know.
What's that?
Just think if your locker had been next to his and you didn't know till after.
Yeah. His mom or his stepmom and his dad sent him to live with his grandma, and then he stole the mannequin, and the grandma found it and made him, she got rid of it. And that's when he started, he was going into the bars. He went to that, what was it, Punksy? I told you, what was that called?
Bathhouse.
Yeah. That's when they kicked him out of there because he kept drugging these people and leaving them. Just nuts. And I know can anybody tell me if I can or should show the pictures that I've got of, I know Broken Justice wants to see the Cecil Shay. He was at the Cecil Hotel too.
No way.
I didn't know. Whoa.
No, I don't think so. I'm not sure though.
I know he was at one hotel. I just didn't know it was the Cecil Hotel.
Well, if it was,
I'm gonna go back
that's
and read
very
this.
interesting. I know the Night Stalker was there.
The Pink Dahlia says, Shay, check out a video on the Confessions, Tony Merkel's channel on Gematria. Yeah, and Hypnotic, that's where I'm saying the MK Ultra. I do believe that a lot of these people are pretty much programmed to kill. And that's why they can seem so normal. I'm telling you guys, in my gut feeling, just like a lot of the Hollywood, they have MK Ultra. Britney Spears. I don't watch any of that, but what's her name? Oh, I cannot think of her name. And a lot of these people on their videos, they're, doing bloodbaths, and go look up Pizzagate. It's all
Oh yeah.
true, that it all coincides with Jeffrey Epstein and that Anne Hesh. I did a video on her, and I do believe that they took a hold of her car by remote control. Somebody mentioned that in that chat that night, and the more I looked into it, I agree with that person 100%, because Punksy's neighbor is actually the guy that owns the salon that Anne was at, and she was perfectly fine minutes before that she got back in that car and started driving like a maniac, 110 miles an hour, ran into a house. Tell me that is not normal, what happened to that woman. And she had just come out with the documentary. It was to be playing 2 weeks later.
Yeah. But he's not my neighbor, but I've known him.
Oh,
no,
I'm sorry.
Okay. He lives in Venice, California. He has a really nice salon there, but I've known him for like over 10 years.
Yeah, he's your good friend, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a really, really good person. And
Yeah.
he actually shut some of his stuff down because a lot of people were, going after.
That about made me sick when you told me that. You could see when he did that interview, that was so sad. Oh my gosh.
Well, he said, he was even getting a lot of kind messages, phone calls, and he said he actually had to just shut everything down because it was so hard for him because she was just there. And he said, I don't understand. She was just here. What happened? And he felt the guilt is overwhelming, because he said maybe she was brought here for me to stop her from going. The guilt is just
Oh gosh.
bad. But,
Hey, just hold on. Broken Justice, can you please drop your link, Punksy's link? She's got a channel, but she don't ever go on there if she wants it dropped. I don't know if Caroline or What's in a Name has a channel, and Pink Dahlia's channel. Please drop everybody's channel. If anybody else is in, you could help her out. I dropped Think for Yourself just because she's the one that has taught me, just like, and this is in my opinion, the stuff that was happening with like the KR, do you guys know who I'm talking about? The case that has been going crazy on the internet.
Yeah.
There is a lot of things that I see that it's either like a psyop or, I mean, there's things that's not right. So I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to hurt the family, you know what I mean? But there are things that is just, not right with that case. And, but anyways, I'll move on to that. There's a lot of cases. I mean, you think about it, every day, how many people are murdered?
Yeah.
Every day, all these people come up missing. Why is it just one or two? How do they get taken over by the mainstream media? And they're always on the Oprah show or the Dr. Phil show. There's so much that you have to look for to understand it. And like I said, you guys go watch Think for Yourself and go back to her videos. One day she will be able to do a video with me, Pink Dahlia. She knows a lot about it too. I don't want to make anybody upset with this kind of stuff, but it's happening. And people have got to start waking up. That's all I can say on a lot of things that are going down. Did we ever find out if I'm allowed to show those pictures or not? I don't know. I don't want to get taken down. Shay, it's the Rodney case. Yeah. And see, I am so different. When I cover cases, I don't want to cover what everybody else is covering because there is so many people that, that were murdered, that, came up missing. There's so many people. That's why I like to do the ones that nobody else is talking about. Hello, spooklers. I know you by a different name. I can't hardly pronounce that one. The Delphi case, I'm telling you right now, the DeLorean has a channel. You ought to go watch hers, Shay. There's so much to that. Thank you. I didn't know if you wanted me to or not. I'll drop her. If I can find it, I can barely ever find it. But anyways, yeah, there's a lot of different ones. But anyways, the Dahmer one, after watching the Netflix documentary and everything that I seen, it was like, wow. What do you
Oh
think?
yeah, it was a good one. Even after watching, all the documentaries over the years, they really did a good job with it.
Oh yeah. I don't know why I can never find her. I usually have to have her send it to me because I can't.
Punchy, what episode did you say that song was in?
Which one?
Punchy said that her friend. I was wondering what episode it was in that song.
It was 3 or 4.
3 or 4. Okay.
Yeah, it was 3 or 4. Yeah, it was. I didn't expect it. I mean, I was like, and it was,
And it was the club.
Yeah, it was a club. And you know who else is in this? Molly Ringwald plays the mother
Who?
from 16 Candles.
Molly Ringwald?
Molly Ringwald?
Plays the mother. The one that was in 16 Candles. She plays the mother, I think the stepmother.
The stepmother?
Yep.
Oh wow, I'll have to pay attention again. See, there's
Yeah.
so much you miss. I never saw her, and usually I always recognize her. You know, she's been in a few
Yeah.
modern day things.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not sure if it was. It's like episode 3 or the stepmother comes. I'm on like 5 or what episode I'm on,
Okay.
but like I would say definitely like 3 and 4, and then 4 to
Mhm.
5. But they just had her in the last episode. It was like episode 5, I think. And at first,
Mhm.
like, and I'm like, is that her? And I was like, then I looked up the cast and I was like, oh my gosh, yep,
Wow. That's
I didn't know
cool.
that.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Like I said, I'm rewatching it, so I'll see
yeah,
everything now.
yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna go back and rewatch it, Amanda?
Yeah, I watched part 1 and a little bit of part 2 right before we did this.
Yeah. There's just so much to it.
There
And
is.
if you
There is.
guys do go back, make sure you go back, try to look at the different, if you can go to, there's so many different channels that talk about the symbolism. I think that you guys would really be able to get it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
There's
Yeah,
more to look for since, you know,
Oh, there
you go
is.
through and watch it, but now you can pay attention to, the surroundings and everything else.
Yeah. And there's, like I said, there's just so much. So much.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long series. When I first started watching it, I didn't even look to see how many episodes it was. And then it kept coming on and kept coming on. I was like, how long is this? And, you know, I think it's 10 episodes.
I think so. Or 8 or
10, yes.
10.
Yeah. So I just kept watching, and finally I looked and I was like, oh my gosh, there's 10 episodes. I thought it was just going to be like 3 or 4.
Yeah, there's 10. And I mean, it was good. I'm not going to say it wasn't. It was really eye-opening, but dang,
Yeah.
it'll make your stomach turn too. Did we ever find out if I'm trying to find Lindsay's channel, and her Delphi, she keeps that separate, and I'm going through and I know it's Cyber Sleuth, but I can't find it.
You know what? I watched part of the tapes today on Netflix, and I was so blown away because I'm pretty sure it was the female. I think it was the person that was going to I don't know what to defend him in court. I don't know who she was exactly, but
Oh,
she
there
said
it is.
it was so.
Sorry. I found it. Sorry.
She said it
Go
was so.
ahead.
It was so hard not to get close to Jeffrey because she spent so much time with him. It would,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Like a detective or something?
yeah, that's who it was. Because I turned it on at a certain point. I just saw that clip, and I wasn't sure exactly who she was, but
Yeah, and she was new too. Like she was
yes,
new to the job.
wasn't it her first case?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
And she
Hey,
said she felt
Johnny.
like
Sorry, I have to
Clarice
tell
from.
Johnny hi.
It's okay. She said
yeah,
she felt like Clarice from
yes,
Silence of the Lambs going to interview Hannibal.
yes, yes. And
That kind of makes it more freaky.
yeah,
Now, what did you just say?
it was
What is that on,
the Dom.
Punksy? That's a different thing, right?
I'm sorry, Amanda. What's that?
It's a different show, right?
Yeah, it
Like
was.
the tapes.
It's on Netflix, but it's the.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she cut out.
I could hold on one
The
second.
okay.
I'm sorry, I was charging my phone. It's on Netflix, and I'm pretty sure it was under the Dahmer tapes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It was a detective, Allison, that had to go interview him
yeah,
for 3 or 4 months or something.
yep.
And, she got kind of close to him, and yet she was scared of him. And it was her first case that they sent her on.
Oh yeah, yeah, yep. I've listened to her interviews.
Okay. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
her. It's pretty neat, too, to watch if you haven't watched that.
Yes. Oh. And he said there was different things that he said something about what kind of person could do something like this. They have to be evil. You think?
Mm-hmm.
And another one, he says something about, I don't know if I have the capacity for emotions.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, and that he even said if I was killed in prison, it would be a blessing. And guess what? He was killed in prison.
Yeah, be careful what
Mm-hmm.
And there was, I mean, some sick one, something about he should start eating at home more often. Ew.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Well, they said he was, like, making all these human inside shapes from meat. They said that in the actual series,
Amanda,
and he was, yeah.
I wonder if I don't know if I can bring it, but I can bring up some of these, the pictures of the, like, I'm still waiting to see if well, this is what they brought out of his apartment. A human head and 3 bags of organs, 2 being a heart, were found in the refrigerator. 3 heads, a torso, and various internal organs were inside a freestanding freezer. Chemicals, formaldehyde, ether, chloroform, plus 2 skulls, 2 hands, male genitalia were found in the closet. A filing cabinet which contained 3 painted skulls, a skeleton, a dried scalp, male genitalia, and various photographs of his victims. A box with 2 skulls inside, a 57-gallon filled with acid, and 3 torsos, victims' identifications, bleach used to bleach the skulls and bones, incense sticks. Neighbors often complained to Dahmer about the smell coming from his apartment. His tools were claw hammer, handsaw, 3/8-inch drill, 1/16-inch drill, and drill bits, a hypodermic needle, various videos, some pornographic, blood-soaked mattress and blood spatters, and the King James Version Bible. That is what they got out of his. And then I can probably show this. There's 2 of the skulls that were bleached.
Mm-hmm.
It just
Mm-hmm.
makes me, here's him when he was, look at him. I mean, it's just so
Yeah.
gross. Here
They said he
is
didn't wear
the
glasses, so he
freezer.
didn't have to see people as
Yeah.
well.
Yep. There's the freezer.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the tools. Oh, shit. And then here's the drum, oh,
Mm-hmm.
gosh. And the other one, here's his house, Lionel's house, the house that he grew up in. And I'm still, I don't know if I should show the other ones or not. What do you guys think?
Is it bones or flesh or what?
It's all of it.
I don't know. I think the bones are fine. I just don't know about the other part. You put the warning up though, didn't you?
Shift happens. Is this the Christmas wish list stream? Nope, no Christmas list here. Welcome, Shift. Welcome. What'd you say, Amanda?
I don't remember now.
Well, I was talking about, I didn't know if Yes, thank you for being here, Chef. I see you in like Lindsay's channel and a few others, but I appreciate you coming in. We're talking about the Jeffrey Dahmer, the Netflix documentary and the real life stuff that happened. Oh,
Oh, you were asking about the. I'm not sure if you. I'm sure you can show the ones with bones. I'm just not sure about the other ones. But you did put up a warning, right?
I did. I put up a warning. I just, I don't know as far as victims' families, you know,
Yeah.
I don't
Mhm.
know. But if I broken justice, I can send them to you. I just don't know. I don't feel right putting them up here. You know what I mean? Because they are pretty graphic.
That's the
Really.
house where he spread the bones out, right?
Yeah,
Of his
he,
first victim.
yep. And then again, there's part of his, that's the bedroom. And wait a minute here. No, come on. This is where that camera up there in the on the wall, the video cam recorder, and then of course Daddy Lionel's recorder, which blows me away. They had to have been recording. Where did all the where was it? I mean, who was watching it? That's what I'm saying. It makes you wonder.
Mhm. Especially the dads.
Oh, don't say, you know what I was told today or yesterday, that where I live, which is Iowa, that we're going to have snow by the second week of November. I'm like, shut your mouth. I mean, it was 21 degrees this morning, 22 yesterday morning. Ugh,
It's
I
only
don't
been the
like it.
30s here.
I don't like it. Yeah, I don't, that's, and as I get older, my joints, and I'm sure it has a lot to do with lupus, but before I was even diagnosed with lupus, the cold air, it just hurt me. My bones throbbed. Sucks.
Yeah.
Sucks to get old.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Oh, broken justice. You think about it. We buy deer hides. When people are hunting, we buy them and then we send them to Wisconsin, and then we get like our deer hide, elk skin and deer skin gloves made. And anyways, like if they bring him and it's on a warm day and it's clear back in the back, you can get a whiff of that. Just think about you going, you know, driving down the road and you smell a dead deer or whatever. Oh gosh, I just could not even imagine what those poor people went through. And Dahmer's not, I mean, you got Gacy too, that did,
Oh, yeah.
and he even said that something evil took over him. That you got that 18, 19-year-old Austin from Florida. And I'm going to be doing his video sometime, but he hasn't even went to trial yet. He literally ate the face of this guy's,
Oh,
he ate his face off when the law enforcement arrived. He was biting chunks of this man's face off.
it was like Hannibal Lecter.
I mean, it's the cannibalism. They're pushing it. I mean, oh,
Well, you remember when people was first coming out, you hadn't heard nothing about bath salts, and they were saying that it was turning people into zombies, and they were biting people's faces off.
well, what's crazy is I was going to, when you're talking about the MK Ultra and stuff back in the day, and I don't know, they still may do it. I don't know. I'm not in the CIA or military or anything like that, but they used like LSD and stuff
Hmm.
to But, a lot of people they think it was of the past. In my opinion, they still are fiddling around with it. They are. I get a little emotional talking about the MK Ultra because there's just so much of it. And it's so, these people go through a lot, I believe. You know, and they can call it a conspiracy theory, but they've claimed it. They've talked about it. It began, well, they say it began with doing a truth serum. You know what I mean? And you think about it, they still talk about, like, if you go watch A Call for an Uprising and stuff, he says that, later on, I don't know how many years, but we will be able to read each other's minds. We can literally be walking down the road, kind of like that predictive programming. But what was that show with Tom Hanks? And he could read everybody's mind, and he went nuts over it. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Yeah, it was a funny movie, but
that was Mel Gibson.
Or Mel Gibson.
What Women Want. Yeah.
Yes. But they say that's going to happen to us in the future, that we're going to be able to read each other's minds. And just think of all the controversy that will cause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to read my mind. Some people don't.
I know. How long until we get chipped?
What's that?
I said, how long until we all get a chip inside of us?
Well, I'm not taking no chip. They'll have to kill me. That's what I did. I will not get no chip in me. Nope, not going to happen.
And
my body, my right.
And I talked to somebody that's in the medical field, and I was asking them about that, and it just came across as, well, it's going to help if something happens, that they can just scan you and they can see everything about you. And I thought, how can you, and this person's not programmed, because I know that, but I thought, like, how can you?
Well, yeah, I've heard that they'll be able to read your whole medical record and that kind of stuff.
Well,
but, you think about it, it's not that far off, because think about the chips that you can put in pets now.
Well, you guys, they say that the technology that we have right now today, the government is 50 years ahead of what we have now. They've got it. Yeah. I remember when my dad was in the Navy. This was in the 70s, and like our cell phones, they had kind of like cell phones back in the day. Nobody else did, but the technology is like 50 years ahead what they have now. We're talking, they have med beds. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of a med bed. It can cure cancer. It'll keep us young forever. In the Bible, it does say that, we will want to die, either we won't be able to. There's just so many things that are going to happen. I don't think people really comprehend what the government can and is doing. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of I think it was Operation Paperclip. You guys heard of that?
Yes.
Have you, Punksy?
I have.
Yep. They brought like 50,000 Nazi scientists and psychologists, the intelligence agents, all that into the U.S. and made them permanent residents. And they were like criminals of war and all sorts of different things. And Russia ended up taking some of those people too. And they got like 200 and some thousand, maybe 300 and some thousand, like slaves, and they worked them to death, literally worked them to death. The CIA was in with that. And, but yeah, just look up like Operation Paperclip, and there's Operation Mockingbird. Have you heard of that one, Punksy?
No, I didn't. I never heard of that one.
Yeah, it's pretty much they're the ones that they spread misinformation, and that goes along with the mainstream media. They're allowed to now, because before they wasn't ever allowed. They did it, but nobody got in trouble for it. Now, since they passed that Smith-Mundt Modernization Act, they can actually tell us lies, and they don't get in trouble for it.
And for me, I don't believe anybody. So I'm kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, with all of the news that's coming out, like, I know that there is so much more out there. Like I said, like, so many years ahead of us. We don't even know. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking to myself, like, it's
Shay says, have you seen the suicide capsicle? No, I haven't.
no. What's that, Shay? Can't get in the chat.
Canada has passed a legalized assisted suicide, and now they have an addendum to the bill that allows for mentally ill people to make the decision to have assisted suicide. It goes in effect when? This is in Canada? Yeah, I know that. I think it's the UK. They're getting rid of, I know as of September, they don't have no more $20 and $50 bills. They're going to get rid of cash altogether. And that is why they hired how many? 87,000 IRS agents, because they're going to get everybody, and you're either going to follow their rules or they're going to put you in a concentration camp and probably who knows what. But I mean, why else would they hire all these tax people? It's
Who hired that many?
the government did. They are arming them with guns and ammunition. No shit. That was on the news. That is true. I'm telling you.
Oh, no, I definitely. Can we go back? I feel so bad. I don't want to interrupt anybody.
Don't you feel bad?
Can we go back to Shay about the assisted suicide? Because I am 110% for it. But when somebody's terminally ill, I mean,
Me too.
I advocated for that. Like, I took classes. I was in a lot. I was in a lot of meetings and stuff. But my fear was the mental health part. You know what I mean? Because, like, I was so afraid that they were going to pass for the mental health, because that can be, to me, I honestly think that can be individuals could possibly be, hopefully be saved in ways of medication or whatever. But when you're terminally ill, to me, it's so different. And I didn't know that they passed that. So I go back and thank her for bringing that up. Because
Yeah.
if people just being like, okay, I'm gonna, you know what I mean? There's so many documentaries, following two people, actually the director and a female, that's they're gonna come out and like with a documentary also. I'm following them on Instagram, but it's all about, you know, assisted suicide, you know, and it's just such a deep.
Yeah, Shay says they hired 82,000. I knew it was 80 some thousand.
Death with Dignity. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, you're quit. I know. I'm just literally, because we have a store and we sell ammunition. We sell you know, we don't sell guns, but we can sell ammunition. And we are having such a hard time getting any ammunition, like we're 3 years back. And that is why, because the government is giving all these IRS people guns and ammunition.
Oh, where
They, yes, it was on the news. Look it up. Yep.
we
Yep.
definitely, if you would like to talk about this, because when you know, like with the death of dignity and, you know, and all of that, like I'm so passionate for over 10 years, like, or 8 years about this. And it's like I was afraid to even talk about it because I never want to. But I'll tell you what, when you have, for me, you know, just my opinion, I've been by the bedside of people that have been dying in front of me, and they suffered so badly. And I would never, I just wish it was horrible. It was just horrible. And I would want that choice only if I was terminally ill. You know what I mean? Like with depression, anxiety, and everything else, I feel like there's medications that can help. But when it's so touchy, but I would love one evening to have a live about that, because the people, and I just, the family members I sat with and I held their hands and they passed away. And I thought, this is just hell, the way they suffered, you know, and it could have been different, you know, but that's my opinion. And I just respect everybody else's opinion, but it's just, it's something that I really believe in. But yeah,
I don't want, I cannot stand working in the nursing field for so long, watching people suffer from bone cancer or pancreatic cancer. That is hard. What's really hard though, too, is watching somebody with Alzheimer's and dementia. That was my main study, is the Alzheimer's and dementia, because it always blew me away that you've got these little ladies and these little men that their kids come in and they don't remember them, but somebody can start and sit at the piano and start playing a song and they will remember every word to that song, every flippin' word.
yeah.
But they don't recognize their family, and it's that breaks my heart.
Well, Sinatra, PCA, Frank
What's
Sinatra,
that?
Frank Sinatra, he, I know that he had a very close relationship. Well, not that, but it's like out there with, no, was it Frank? No, wait, who is the singer that is singing on and off with, what's her name? I'm so sorry, I can't think of her name. Lady Gaga. Is Frank Sinatra dead?
Yeah, I think so.
Hey, let's go back then. It's another. It's from the Rat Pack, so it's one of them guys, and he is starting with dementia. But when he goes on stage, yeah, Frank Sinatra. When he goes on stage, he remembers every single word. Yep.
Yep.
I can't remember though. I'm sorry, I can't remember
No,
exactly.
you're fine.
But
It's just crazy how it works, though. I mean, it really is how that disease can do that, but they can remember the littlest things, you know.
yeah, it's
You,
hard. It's hard. I mean, I watched my aunt, you know, with dementia, and it was the most, honestly, it was so scary. I just felt like when you grow up and you have somebody that's older than you, that's a strong, uh, and you see the hurt, it's just so heartbreaking.
yeah,
And
yeah, I agree.
it should never be that way. It should never, and they never would, like, she would have never, the way that it came to. So, but you know, we are where we are right now, and I know she's at her peace. Hopefully, things will. I definitely go back to Shay and check that. So, thank you for letting me talk about that.
Oh, I'm glad you did.
I kind of took everything off.
No, really, this is my channel. We go off the subject all the time here. It's just what everybody wants to, talk about. And, but I agree. I think that if somebody is, who was that doctor that injected people? Kevorkian?
Working, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I, because I know a lot of people would just do it themselves. You know what I mean?
There's a documentary you should watch on that if you haven't saw it
Of Kevorkian?
about him. Yeah.
And
Really?
there's a lot of
Mhm.
I'm sorry, man. Sorry, hon.
I can't remember what it was on. It's been several years since I watched it. It might have been HBO, but they follow him through trying to, get through all the red tape for that to happen, and him going to court, and it's just it's a really good one.
Wow.
I'll try
Yeah.
to look it up and tell you sometime else. And
Yeah,
Do you guys
that'd
know
be a good
what?
one. That would be a good one to do a live on, actually.
Oh, yeah, we should. Absolutely. I believe so. Do you guys know what the Freemasons are? Do you
I
guys
have,
know a lot about them?
you know what, TCA, I asked mom about that because we were talking about that, like
Mm-hmm.
their channel, like there was another channel I was talking about it sometime. So I asked my mom about it because like where I'm coming from, where I'm from, there's a lot of I don't know. I'm just gonna like kind of trim it. I said to my mom, "Do you know anything about the Freemasons?" She's like, "Oh yeah, we had some of our family and that were Freemasons." And she said they had certain things that they. She actually pulled some photos out, and I saw like stuff that they were wearing, and I was like, I was looking at this, like
You're cutting out a little bit, Punksy.
I'm sorry that I was
Fine.
okay. So I was learning about it. I heard about it, and I started to research it. And she's like, those that were in our family away though. There's, you know what I mean, because it was back in the day. So that's kind of scary though.
I know that my dad's best friend, he was a Shriner, which is, a Freemason. And where I was talking about his apartment number and how it adds up to 33? Well, according to the Freemasons, um, the 33-degree parallel, um, if the satanic is above the 33 parallel, and it goes along with your Knights Templar. That is why they have that show on now when they're trying to find the what is it, the all the gold and stuff. They have that show on that they're digging for all this gold and stuff, and it was the Knights Templar that, and the higher ones you guys are, they're evil. They really are. They're Sodomic. That's why you have like Queen Elizabeth. She, always with her hand, uh, all of them have, that's who's running our country is the Freemasons, the real high up ones. And I'm going to tell you something. My fiance, he was going to go be a Freemason. This was like 25 years ago. And they took him in this room and they put like a black thing across his eyes. and he had to get undressed. And all of a sudden, all the people in the room started chanting, just like when Tracy talks about Dahmer chanting. That is what all these people did. And he stood up, he ripped that thing off of his face, off of his eyes, and he goes, "I'm sorry, gentlemen, but this is not for me." And he walked out and he never looked back. And
So what is the modern day versus the higher up? You know, or I guess the lower ones. What's the difference?
what do you mean?
Like, you know, you said the higher up ones are the ones that are controlling the country and
That's
that kind of thing.
I'm talking, that's your government. That is, and I may make people mad, but even the papacy, they're all the higher ups.
What about the lower ones?
Well, even the Shriners, that my dad's best friend, my dad said that Bob used to have to leave for like a week at a time, and he would go places and then he would come back and he wouldn't talk about anything. He didn't want to talk about anything. And dad, because I've told my mom and my dad and Jim, he literally is finally starting to believe me after I told him about the Freemasons. And then he told me about what they did to initiate him in. And then everything that's going on in the world. I told him what was going to happen. I told him that Biden's going to get in. The Jasara, Nesara, I've told him everything, and all of it's coming. The cashless society, it's all coming. And now he's like, I cannot believe that you know all this. And I said, I don't watch TV. I research myself.
How long?
Huh?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I interrupted you. I'm so sorry. I was gonna say, how long do we have until like the shit hits the fan?
Nobody knows that. I do know what's happening right now is they're making, I mean, we are living on a stage. The whole world is nothing but a stage. Biden, all of them are actors, every one of them, Punksy. And they're making this world look, I mean, it's bad, but they're making it look worse by having Biden and what's her name in there?
Jill?
No,
Camille.
the vice president.
Camille Harris.
Yes, but they're making it look really bad. And then, so whoever comes in, whether that be Trump, whether that be, who knows, Elon Musk, who freaking knows? But they're going to bring that person in, and then the whole world is going to think that person, or they are going to save the world. They're going to make it better, right? Well, I guarantee you they are all working together. Our presidents are not elected. They are selected. They know who's going to get in, and it's all nothing but a show right now. It's all a show. And that way, when they bring in the no cashless society, the new world order, they're going to let people think this is a good thing. They're going to, they're going to put people's social security checks will be tripled. They're going to pay off our house loans. They're going to pay off our credit cards because they're going to say that the banking industry was corrupt. They're going to do all this, and people are going to be so happy. They're going to follow every rule that they give us, because we all know money is the root of all evil, right?
Yep.
So just like if you want to work, you can use that money to buy new boats or whatever you want. People that are living, with very little means, I'm talking the people that have to live off of the government that, can't, I'm not even talking about disability. I'm talking about they can't find a job or something. And they're getting whatever those, some kind of the check and the food stamps, all that's going to be tripled. And it's going to, I mean, people are going to live like they want to. I'm just going to say that, because they're going to say that the banking industry has been corrupt. The Rothschilds, they've been corrupt. And I do believe that that is when they come out and they tell us all that 9/11 was our own government. They'll tell people that, which it could have been. I'm sure it probably was part of it, but they're going to let everybody know how corrupt our government has been. And they have it's called the 2030 agenda, but I think things will happen before then, in my opinion. And I don't mean to scare anybody, because it is scary. I was always so scared until I got close with God, and I'm not scared of stuff like that happening, because I know that God will see me through it. I know he will. But I just want people to, to know what's really happening. And I can drop a call for an uprisings or a time for judgment. And you guys can go and literally listen to these guys. Just go back and watch his videos and you will understand what I'm talking about. I'm going to drop his in the chat right now, because he is awesome. He really is. There, just go check out his channel, and he explains things so much better. And it's not just him. There's Donut Factory. He's another good one, and he talks about the Freemasons, the symbolism, the numerology. I'll drop that channel too, because I want everybody to know what's happening in this world and not just take my word for it. Literally go watch, and whatever they say, it's all happening. It's happened. It's happening. You name it.
Well, even now though, they because everything is so high priced, or is so high priced. Like, I think the cola is 8.7%, and they added so much percent for the food stamps. So they're upping everything. But people deserve. I mean, to me, if it's everything is so,
Absolutely, people deserve. The people on disability.
yeah.
I took care of elderly, and they would literally lose everything to have to go live in a nursing home that nothing was theirs anymore. They had to live by rules, and it just disgusted me. I actually, when I was in nursing school, I had to do a paper, and I actually wrote a paper on our own government that I believe that all elderly people, once they retire, they should not have to give up everything that they worked for just to go into a nursing home because they had a stroke or, whatever. That is not right. And as far as there's so many people that they talk about the people living off of government, like welfare and stuff. You know what? My sister, she worked her whole freaking life. She worked from the time I think she was 13, 14, detasseling corn and stuff. And when she had her first daughter, her husband beat her, and she had to move back from Oregon to Iowa. And she had to live off of the government for a while. I mean, she had so much trauma and PTSD from getting beat by her husband. And he would literally take rats and lock her in the bathroom with rats.
Gosh.
It was terrible. And so I don't believe that people should, there's people that can't work. They have maybe anxiety, or they have, they're going through chemo treatments. It's the ones that could work that just don't want to, that like I'm saying, and it's not even for me to judge. That's not my business. You know what I'm saying?
TC, Oh, I'm sorry. I keep on cutting in. I need to start using my laptop stuff. I apologize. But did you, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just done. I just don't think that anybody should judge anybody in this world when it comes to their way of living, because we don't know. There's something, there's a reason for everything. And, you know, that's all I'm saying. And people say, well, go get a job, whatever. I know that there's people that's tried to go get a job, and even if it's McDonald's and they're clicky, and if you're not in their clique, they will treat you like crap, and nobody should have to work like that.
And this is, it's everywhere. Like they've even worked in like, I I worked in a place. It was like I worked in a bunch of different places, but the one of the most click places having a click when you're sitting there and you're working and you're hearing up. And there's I worked for Roto. I worked for Kodak. Awesome. I took a job in doing for like cable internet phone that, you know, anything bad about the company. I cannot tell you how had the gossip and the clicks and people quit showed up because people were having anxiety attacks, and I'm like, this is insane. It's crazy, you know? I don't know, but anyways.
I was talking and I was muted. No, I was just saying, yeah, I understand.
Yeah, and I was gonna say one other thing. I'm so sorry. If you take notice, because this is what I want to go back to with the government and the COLA and also increase in the food stamps, because ironically with Biden and to go in politics when he came in, like ironically how things are so expensive, the gas, food, I mean, upping rent, electricity, everything. So now they're giving us more money. They're giving us more options to get for things that we can't afford. So that's the government helping people. Ironically, who the government kind of screwed everything up. That everybody is like, but then like when COVID hit, which I honestly do, that was man made. When COVID hit, now there's all these other jobs. Well, people don't want to go back to work. And honestly, there's a part of me that doesn't, some of them, because they're like, they would make more money not working than working. Or it's more dangerous to work than not work. It's so, and that's why TCA, like, I so get you, because it is screwed up. There's no rhyme or reason. It's so screwed up. I'm done.
No, you're fine. It is. And the government, well, and it's already starting. They're helping people, which, you know what, the way that this world has been, and they should be helping their own people. You know what I mean? Just
They're
like student loans, though, it's frustrating because here, a lot of these, people got their $10,000 forgiveness of their loans. Okay, what about me that had to pay all that money? Do I get any of that money back? Which it is what it is, but that part, some of that stuff is very frustrating to me. People that had to pay.
I had to pay mine off, and you think I was happy, but I worked the jobs I had to work to pay that off. My credit stayed okay, and to see like people getting like $10,000 or whatever, that they're clear. I interrupted you again. I'm sorry, but I sit here and I think to myself, like, hell, you know what I mean? Like, what am I doing wrong? But I guess we're doing the right. But
Yeah, I want to bring this comment of Shay's up because I got to find it here. right here. Okay. The only way to fix this is to stop falling for all the hyperbole. No matter how good or right you think they sound, we need to think for ourselves. Absolutely. Amen. 100%. You are spot on there. And that is why I really want you guys to go check out Think for Yourselves channel. She is awesome. She's a sweetheart, but hers is mainly, it talks about the American Horror Story, the Chris Watts. It's crazy. And once you see it and it's in front of you, you're like, oh my gosh, you can't unsee it once you've seen it. And then she'll also talk a lot about the government and what they're doing. And it's pretty fascinating as far as just, it's mind boggling, should I say. And I'm trying to make my mom see what's really happening. And she's finally starting to understand it. And she's 74. And she's like, everything makes sense now, what's happening in the world, how you can have Biden up there and not being able to say a sentence. It's all an act. It's all an act.
He can't. I'm not trying to be nasty, but he can't. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just, even if he could, this is all an act that our world is nothing but a stage. Everything like the predictive programming, you think about it, look at the Jetsons. Who remembers the
Me.
cartoon of the Jetsons? And
Absolutely.
They had their phones or whatever, their screens, and they were talking to each other and you could see each other, right?
Yep.
Look at it. I mean, you go back to that and we're living in that world other than the cars that fly. But old Elon Musk is trying to get them going too,
They're going to be. Well, they have things now that people are flying all over. It's just so. And the thing is, I never, ever thought about any of it until I saw a live a while ago. But then you started talking about it, and Pink started talking about it, Delilah, and like I started to research stuff, and I'm like, this is insane, and it's like it's in our face. And that thing, like I was watching Amanda. Did you ever? I don't know if you guys ever watched Shameless, but the one character has like a tattoo on his chest, and it's the one symbol. And I thought, and I never realized that for 11 years I watched this, and I only realized it now.
What kind of tattoo was it?
What's that, hon?
What kind of tattoo was it?
It was like it's like the symbol that's on a dollar bill, like on a bill. It's
Oh, okay. The
yeah.
eye.
It's if you watch Shameless, it will lip, and I never thought anything about it, and then I saw it, and like so many things are in front of our face, but it's good to have knowledge. I find like these chats are awesome because like some people would be like, oh no, it's right there. I appreciate
that's what I learn so much from YouTube. I know a lot of people, there's a lot of bullshit going on, but I have learned a lot of things from YouTube, and it's, yeah, I'm thankful for it. I really am. And as far as like people's insurance and stuff, like right now, just for Jim and me is $1,300 a month because we have our own business. So we have to, I mean, it's terrible, and it sucks.
Yeah, really. Sounds like it.
It sucks.
So do you still have to pay after that though?
Well, yeah, you still have to pay your co-pays, and like it's just literally like anybody else's insurance, you have your copay and you have to have, I think it's like $600 or $500 for an emergency room you pay, and then after that they'll pick up. And it's thank God my kids, their dad has them on insurance now, because that was terrible to try to, you know, especially after Katie got into that accident and it, you know, totally messed up her mind and her head, and going back and forth to the neurologist. And yeah, I'm thankful that they have insurance. And he works for the county, so that's nice. That
Yeah. Good insurance.
yeah, Broken Justice, I had the hiccups today. I had to take my sister and my mom to Des Moines, and oh my gosh, I got to tell you guys this story. So I drove my sister's car. She was in the hospital for about 5 hours. Well, I was sitting out in the car with the two puppies, my dog and her dog. They're both Cavapoos. And I had to pee so bad. So I drove to the nearest gas station. It was like a half a mile away. And I leave the window down about an inch and a half. And I run in, you know, I lock the car and I'm go pee. I get me a drink and I go back out to the car. And I had the keys and I'm sitting there hitting and it would not open the freaking car. And I'm like, okay, her battery went dead. How am I going to get this car open? So I go back into the gas station and I said, do you have something long I can use to maybe get down in that window so I can lock the damn door? And she goes, what happened? And I said, her battery must have went dead. So she gave me this long black rod that you put a squeegee on it. Well,
Yeah.
I had it down there, but it wasn't doing anything. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I call mom because she's in the waiting room at the hospital. I'm like, ask Lisa, or do you happen to know how the hell I get this car unlocked? These dogs are in the car and I can't get it unlocked. And she goes, Allison, well, not only that, she goes, just put the key in the door. Well, my truck, it just has the fob. There's no key. I was using my truck keys to try to unlock her car door because I had.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That lady at the gas station laughed so hard. She ended up peeing her pants. She was laughing that hard at me. I felt like such a dumbass. I was tired. You know, I'd been up since 4:30 in the morning, and yeah, I was trying to unlock her car with my truck keys. And my truck was clear in Albia.
Yep. Sounds like something I do.
I had the hiccup so bad today, it hurt my heart. They were hurting so bad. Anyways, we need to do this again, you guys. We should do maybe a second part of this because there's just so much to it. Don't you agree?
Yeah, 10 episodes to the series. So I think we got plenty to talk about.
We got a lot to talk about. A lot.
Yeah.
And maybe Pink Dahlia and me and you and Punksy and maybe even Megan from Think for Yourself. Anybody wants to come up, more than welcome. We can talk about this because it needs to be talked about. Whether he was programmed to kill or he's that evil. Yeah, it's one. I mean, it could be both. I mean, I do believe that people will be, I mean, it says in the Bible that people will be taken over by, you know, demonic things. And one day, I know you're not ready, but Amanda, I want you to tell your story so bad one day when you are about the things that happened at your house and your apartment.
Oh, yeah.
I really want you to talk about that because there's a lot of people out there that have went through with what you've went through, and they're just, they're scared to talk about it, or they maybe think that they're, you know, maybe I'm crazy or whatever, but
yeah,
it's
I
like
think it's both.
Well, just like me, when I was a little girl, when the guy came and kneeled down by my bed with my mom and my sister that had that black coat on and that big black hat. I thought I'm either losing it or maybe I dreamt it. And no, that was real. There's
They call him the Hat Man. Remember I told
yes,
you?
yes. I actually Pink
Yes.
Dahlia sent me information on it. And it's like, at
Mm-hmm.
least I know I'm not crazy because that did happen.
Right.
That happened
Well,
to
it'll
me.
make you feel crazy.
Yeah. What, Punksy?
I'm sorry, man. That happened to me when I think like 5, 6. I opened up the one door that led to the attic, and coming down was the black coat, the top hat, and
Mm-hmm.
the cane, but there was nothing else. And then I went to bed, but every night that my mom was like, Lisa, do you remember when you were younger and you would take all of your toys, those Weeble Wobbles? I don't know what a Weeble Wobble is, but even my slippers, I would line my whole bed with that because that was everything. Like, I don't want to say would protect me, but I was close with stupid. But you know, like yeah, you slippers at at um at the bed and all your wobbles, and I'm thinking, yeah, mom, because I saw some dude on the steps with a cane and no face.
Oh yeah. I totally believe all that. So
Yep.
I
we'll
see
do a
that.
show about it sometime.
Yeah. Broken Justice. This comment right here. I really like it. It says, don't be a follower just because everyone else is doing it. Think about it, what it is you want for your life and who you are and what you stand for. That is so true. And that I kind of, that's why I'm in the position I am on YouTube right now. Because I stood up for what I believed is right. And I didn't for a long time. It was like a follower and it made me sick. And never again. I will always stand up for what it's right, even if I don't like the person. I'll never forget the time that Natasha said something about a channel creator. And I literally went into the chat and said, I'm so sorry that this has happened. That was wrong, blah, blah, blah. And there was like 10 people messaging me saying they were disappointed in me. But guess what? Those 10 people that were disappointed in me is now best friends with her. It's like, okay. So
Yeah, that's how it goes.
I will support who I want to support. I will do what I want to do. I'm going to be 50 years old and there ain't nobody going to tell me who I can't support. And I don't care how disappointed I make somebody. Because
But
that was
Right.
like a big slap in the face. That was like, whoa, what just happened here? I mean,
Yes, you do what you think is right, like Broken Justice said.
and that's it. Don't listen to what other people say about someone because just because they don't like them doesn't mean it's true what they're saying. Pay attention to how they treat you yourself. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's just something I wanted to say because there's been, a lot of people saying somebody's a really, really bad person. And by gosh, she's actually a pretty gosh darn good person. She's a very nice person. And a lot of people, she doesn't deserve this. A lot of people don't deserve what's happening. So anyways, I just wanted to say that.
and I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm going to say I absolutely agree with you. And ironically, is it okay? I'm sorry I interrupted you.
Quit saying you're sorry.
Yeah,
But
quit that. I interrupt her all the time.
but like ironically, what I realized, like, and I mean, I haven't been on YouTube that long, but like I sat back for a while and observed, and I would like I would sit there and just be like, wow, there's so many different people with personalities, with different beliefs, and I respect them and stuff. But when it comes to the drama, I'm not there. When it comes to treating people horrible, or just the disrespect or making fun of how I'm not there. So people,
The
Frank,
bullying, I
I,
cannot stand. Sorry,
oh,
I'm interrupted now, but the people that gang up on others,
yeah, I don't,
that is what I can't handle.
but
That is wrong.
yeah,
And they're not in junior high and high school anymore. These people are adults that gang up on, and just, I mean, it's so crazy because I remember when I was in Natasha's and she'd get mad at someone, but they were all best friends with the person one day, and then Natasha got mad, and then they were like, well, I didn't like that person anyway, you know,
Hmm.
and everybody else talked about that. But certain creators now are doing, and the subscribers are doing the exact same thing. It's like,
yeah.
huh?
But you know what?
Yeah.
You know, awesome though about the whole entire thing with Natasha and everybody else that was like, all of that is you can sit back, you can observe, and you can be like, be a part of any of this. And not that I'm saying bad about anybody that, is a part of it. I choose not to be. And it gives me so much like like I don't wake up every day for drama. I don't wake up every day for people making somebody else feel bad. I don't wake up every somebody getting a subpoena. You know what I'm saying? Like I wake up, hang out with some really cool people on YouTube that have stuff like digging into stuff, research, and taking that. You know, I appreciate that. So I think if we
Yeah, the digging in and going real life, that is, ooh, that's bad.
and
Um,
seriously, I'm so sorry, but if somebody's gonna put something out there about somebody else, that is so, come on, man. Like, what, if you can't go to that individual and talk to them and get through it, what do you do? It's clicks and views, drama, and it's okay. I mean, I don't think it's okay. That's how some creators go, and that's how they roll. And I'm not gonna say any of them all. I'm not gonna say any one. That's and and that's cool.
well, if I have a friend, Punksy, let's say you and me, or Amanda and me, or whatever, or Cheryl, or whoever, and I upset someone, let's say I did something that upset them. Why would they not come to me instead of doing a video about it?
And honestly, I was about, I'm jumping right in. I was thinking about this a lot. Like what I was, because I something in the past, which it took a little while. It kind of, but life goes on, and and I just think people come into your life, and you have certain conversations, and you learn from people, and you grow, and you move on. And like, I never would ever make a video that I had a disagreement with, because I think like life goes on. Like my life is going on, their life is going on. So why are people making videos of other people? Because they're so damn own lives that they need to point out certain things in somebody else's life, so it's not pinpointed back. And that's pretty shit. And that's
You're,
all.
yeah, you're exactly right. And I think what blows me the way that blows, I mean, this literally blows me away. People can put, I had people coming after me. I have said I will never show screenshots of a personal or a mod chat group. I just won't do that. That's just not me, because there's people that I care about in that mod chat, and the personal ones, I don't care if you threw the proof in their face, they're not going to believe it no matter what anyway. So what's the point? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they want to believe it, they're going to believe it. It's like, okay, why am I going to put my time and effort into showing all these screenshots when people are not going to believe it because they don't like me or they like the other person better. It's just ridiculous.
It's feeding the fuel. It's keeping the drama going. The shit needs to stop, because when it comes down to it, to me, the way I feel is I've had in-depth like conversations with somebody. I mean, we don't talk, as of now, but I would never share that out. I would never put screenshots out. I would, because you know what? I'm not perfect. And you know what? I
Nobody's perfect.
Yeah. And if that person would have did it, do it to me, I wouldn't appreciate it. So, but beyond that, I would never do that, because what we shared was private, even though we may not be on the, you know what I mean? We may not be grooving right now. And, we're kind of like, our lives like just kind of took a different path. That's okay. I wish people well, but I will not come after somebody and be like, hey, you know what? I don't disagree with something that happened. So I'm going to exploit all of our conversations. It makes me
Oh,
think.
Punksy, you know how upset I was. I was ready to show all. I was so mad. I was shaking. And I had to contact my friends on here. Because I was lied about so much by people. And I was like, okay, I'm ready, but I don't know how to do it. I'm not tech savvy. And, I just had to literally pray and sit back and calm down and thought, you know what? You people are not worth me getting stressed out over at all. I'm going to leave you to do your little thing, and I'm going to go over here and have fun. And that is exactly what I did. And I'm so much happier on YouTube now that I'm with a totally different, they're fun. They're good people,
And and, you know, yeah, I think that, and this is else, like I said, I haven't been on YouTube, but like I've seen how creators, just how they move, like, or how, or even you'll see.
You're cutting out really bad.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
You're fine. I'm going to mute again.
Hold up 1 second.
Broken Justice says, Amanda, yes, we really need you to talk about that sometime or whatever. I would love for you to talk about it, because I guarantee you there's a lot more people, Amanda, that have been through that kind of stuff.
But
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, one of these days when I work my nerve up.
Yep, you just do it when you're ready. No, I'm not telling you to hurry up. You take your
I
time.
know.
And you do it. We'll take a day and we'll go over everything, and you can get up here and I'll talk about my hat man. I'm sure Punksy's had things happen with her.
I'm there.
Broken Justice. I think she's told me some things. But if Shay's still on here, I really want Shay to, hers is not that. Hers is so much more. It would take a month, every week for a month, to go through what that poor woman's been through. And hers has everything to do with the government.
Wow.
Everything to do with what they have done to her. And it's so bad. So bad. And I've seen the proof.
Mm-hmm. I'm just, I want to say though, I'm grateful, to be here tonight, to spend this time with y'all tonight.
Oh, Punksy. Well, we're happy you came.
But like,
That's really nice.
it's like I met Amanda. And
yeah, you hear me talk about Amanda all the time, and you guys have never really met. Amanda's a very, very good person. She's one of my best friends, and I love her to pieces. And
I love you too.
And that's what's like, I feel a positive vibe. It's awesome. And one thing I do want to say though, for the pink a lot, I just want, everybody, if you can send some positive vibes, she starts feeling a little bit better. She enjoys the rest of her month. She's out having a big adventure, but her heart, was here all night with all of us. I know that for. So I just hope everybody can just send a positive vibe. Delilah. Delilah.
Absolutely.
The pink. I just call her the pink.
Pink Dahlia. The
So
Pink Dahlia. She was one of the very first people I met. And that was over on, well, not one of the very first people. It was Natasha's clan, and then another person's that I won't mention. And that's where I met Amanda and Broken Justice. And then, Melissa Jade, that's where I met Pink Dahlia. Or
Pink
no,
Dahlia.
I met Think for Yourself on Melissa Jade's and met Pink Dahlia on Think for Yourself. And Punksy, where did I meet you at? Was it Pink Dahlia's?
Allie.
Huh?
Oh, hold on. It was Allie.
Said Allie.
Oh, Allie's. Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, and then Shay, I met her on Think for Yourself, and Spookleress, I met her on the DeLorean. And then the other couple people that are new, I thought that was nice that CDT sent Caroline, and then Punksy, your friend, which was
The name.
what?
The,
And then there was Chet, the Chiefs fan.
Yeah.
And then where's the name? I wanted to. Out of the Shadows with Ginger was here, or what's in a name or whatever. Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, Out of the Shadows with Ginger, you guys need to go over there when she has oh my gosh, I had so much fun the other night. They did trivia, and let me tell you, I didn't get in till late, but it was fun. I done really good. And she does this every so often. Now I seen where she had another trivia, but I missed it. It didn't give me a notification. But if you guys, I would love to maybe bring her over here, and maybe we could have a trivia night here and play that game or something. I think that would be so fun, because I had a blast that night. There was no drama, no nothing. It was all good fun, good, clean fun. It was the best. And everybody was so nice.
Good.
I'm echoing. I'm sorry.
Actually, Broken Justice, why don't you drop her channel if you can, if you're here still, and just go pay attention to when she does these trivias, because they are fun. There's people that do trivias, but it wasn't near as fun. She had quite a few people in there, and it was just fun. I want to do that here. I want to do different things, not just always talk about, the murders and government. And like I said, next Thursday, we're doing a Harry movie or video, and I'm going to bring up the case file and bring it up onto screen and let you guys see what we've seen. And it's going to take a while. It's going to be, not one night. We're going to do different parts, like once a week or twice a week, and just go through the interviews. You guys, my 10-year-old, well, I guess he's 12 now, grandson could have done a better job interviewing these people. Then it's just absurd. And like I said, I'm not going at them, because 1984 was a lot different than now. But my gosh, wait until you guys see it. Thank you, Punksy, for dropping Oh, never mind. That was, you were saying, I'm clear up here at the top. You were telling what's in a name for coming. Thank you. Does that one have a channel, Punksy?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, he's very supportive though. He said that.
I'm very thankful. You guys, I am so happy because in the last, I don't know how, last couple weeks, my subscriber count uh, has went, I think the last time, what, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I had 811, Amanda.
Mm-hmm.
And now
Yep.
I'm at 965. You surpassed me, Punksy. Good job.
But
And you've only had your channel, what, a month or two?
I said yeah, well, we talked earlier, and then I was looking at um, the certain stuff, uh, like some of the stuff that I was actually adding, like the shorts and stuff, and I could see where it spiked up. So it gave more of like, okay, if it were, you know what I mean? Like when you channel, you're like, well, what's your channel? And I realized like, okay, well, I was like looking in the studio and I'm like, okay, well, it seems like we'll put this or that or whatever, whatever I had on at that time, I could see the spike. And that's made me feel good because I knew that I was drawing people that cared about that. So that's, I think, where that came from, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
I didn't like you said something, and then Allie said something I didn't even know because I wasn't looking. You know what I mean? I wasn't looking at it, but it's nice to know that, like, even if it's like one person that can,
I
help them.
had very few subscribers for the longest time. I mean, I sat on, I think a year it was 400. It took me a year just to get my community post. And it's like, dang, but it seems like when I left all the chaos, I started getting a lot more subscribers. So it made me feel good.
Yeah,
I, it really
good.
does. That
Changes.
people still, care enough about me to want to hear what I have to say, or, just to chit chat, or maybe they're just subscribing because they don't want to miss something. Well, I hope that they don't think I'm going to just go off on my channel. I'm not going to put that on here. My channel means more to me for Harry, you know what I mean? And helping people see what's happening in the world. And yeah.
And it's all part of the growth of your channel because, like, you were, if you go back just a little while, say, you were doing your lives, and there were like, certain people that would come and go and stuff, but now, like, you moved on, and now you're like, you're surrounding yourself with some different people, and then you know what I mean, you're growing through growth. You know what I mean, you're not at the same place that you were. You moved
I mean,
on.
I've got people that actually drop my link in their channel, um,
That's
or
good.
exactly, CDT sent Caroline over here. I mean, how amazing is that?
She's awesome. She's so badass. Her and
Oh my gosh, I love her and ATS News. I really do. They're good.
awesome.
They don't put up with bullshit, and they're very kind. They really are.
Yeah, they are so cool. And Allie too. I mean, she's awesome too.
Yeah.
Top. I mean, absolutely. She has the most kindest heart. She's very respectful. She's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed myself tonight, and I feel so blessed and privileged to have you be like, hey, because
Well, it helps you too because you've got your channel, and it's so nerve-wracking when you go live for the first times, you know, and you get used to it when you're on other people's panels. But my problem is when I go to other people's panels, there's like hundreds, 50, 100, 200. And I'm like, I panic.
No, ever. It took me how long to get on this? So like and I said this before. I said this to the Pink. I'm like, listen, with my channel, it's fun because like I want to screw up and laugh.
Well, I'm the one that said to you, why don't you go live? Do this.
Mm-hmm. I was like, nah, I don't know. But then when I looked at it, like, hey, like for me, let's just have fun. And if I go on, if I have a live and I screw something up, I'm not gonna like at the end of the evening be like, oh my gosh, I can't sleep because I screwed something up. Let's just have fun.
And I'm like that. If I do, I mean, usually after every live, I'm calling Amanda. How bad was it or whatever? But you know, I get off subject. We go from one thing to another on here, and that's the way I am. I'm like that in real life. I'm a jabberjaws. I I do. I can be talking about one thing and go talk about another thing 2 minutes later. It's just me. And you know, it's real. We're real people. We're not, you know,
We're not
trying to make ourselves look like something we're not. You know what I mean? We're real. This is how I am. I mean, I am a very, I'm not, I know I'm a good person. Do I get upset? Yeah, I get upset sometimes in real life on YouTube, but I'm not, I mean, I don't let people get to me in real life like I do on YouTube, but that's changed. It's like, they were never my friend. You know what I mean? I thought they was, but they wasn't, or they wouldn't have done what they did to me.
Yeah.
And so I'm not sad anymore like I was.
Yeah.
And I'm not even mad anymore. I'm not hurt. I'm just like, you know, whatever. It is what it is. It took me a little while, but that's just how I feel now. So anyways, I got to get up. I got to be at work early in the morning because Jim and Steve's got to go somewhere. And oh yeah, they get to go load a trailer and I get to stay at the store, which works for me.
Well,
Yep.
thanks.
Work for them.
So, well, thank you guys so much for coming up here with me. Everybody in chat, thank you for hanging out with us. And remember next Thursday night, and then we probably need to figure out a night we're going to do this another one. And I'll try to stick more to the topic on the Dahmer. And I'm going to get the symbolism and have it wrote down for the next time. And we can talk about the symbolism more. I was relying on Pink Dahlia to be with me because she could remind me of things, and her not feeling good and I don't even think she's at home yet, but I shouldn't have relied on her so much. I'll just have to, because I am very forgetful. I can think of something, but if it's not wrote down, I will forget. And I promise I'm going to make sure that the symbolism, the numerology, and all of it, I will have wrote down. But the ones that stuck out to me was the ones I talked to about tonight, but there's hundreds more. There's so much of it. Anyways, Shay, you need to get a hold of me and we need to figure out when we're going to do your video. Broken Justice, if you could get a hold of Ginger and see if maybe she would like to come over and we can play a game here, or even on your channel, we can do it. We can do it on Punksy sometime. We all need to work together and build each other up and help each other out instead of, you know, not.
Yep.
Yeah.
All righty. I can do some symbolism stuff well, maybe you can come up next time, Shay. You should have I asked if anybody wanted to come up. You should have come up. You could have helped the girl out. Yeah, next time you come up, Shay. Oh, honey, you still don't have heat in your house? She had a
Oh,
fire. We need to pray for Shay. She had a fire. It's been a long time ago, and it's sad that ugh,
well, how can we get some in her house?
I don't know, because if I would do like a PayPal fundraiser, people won't donate to stuff like that. They would rather donate to something else.
Well,
Broken Justice, do you think we could talk to maybe Ginger, Punksy? Do you think we can talk to maybe get her some help, because she has been a subscriber to mine from the very beginning, and I just want to help her so much, so bad.
you know what we do is get as much information, as you can, and then we'll talk in Messenger, and we'll definitely get her some heat.
Okay.
So that's going to be fixed really soon.
Okay, Shay, I don't know if you have PayPal or anything. Message me tomorrow morning, and I know I want to donate something to help you. And I know other people will too.
We'll
And
figure
you don't have to tell them, you don't have to say anything. If you don't want people to know about it, but I'm sure at this point, you said it on here, you wouldn't care, but I know there's a lot of great people out there that will want to help. Spooker Less says it was great to talk to you at Broken Justice. But we're going to get you some help, Shay. I promise. I promise. Punksy will help me. Amanda will help me figure it out.
we're going to keep it
Broken
on.
Justice will contact. She's got a lot of friends that have big channels, and we're going to get it figured out. You message me tomorrow, and if you don't have a Venmo or PayPal, we'll get Venmo set up. I don't think a lot of people they don't like PayPal anymore. Things are happening with PayPal, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, we'll get it figured out, Shay. Good night, Amanda. Good night, Punksy. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
And I will talk to you guys later.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys. Good night.
Good night.